Now remember, like I said, America gained her independence around 1776, and then we was hit with the Second Great Awakening in about 1790. So once again, this was one of the first religious movements that America had seen, and a lot of cults came out of this. Like I said, Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormonism, and once again, all of this was all about emotionalism, and then turned into dreams and visions. And everybody was having dreams and visions, and from those dreams and visions, it was turned into doctrines, and doctrines then turned into cults. Now, I will say this, that SDA is a cult, Seven Day Adventist is a cult, and I will cover them in a separate video, and they get us a whole video off to themselves. Mormonism is a cult. Um, Jehovah's Witnesses is a cult, because all of these, especially SDA and Jehovah's Witnesses, they all come from what's known as the Millerite movement, which was somewhat of a vision from a man that said that Christ was going to come back in 1844. And then when he didn't come back in 1844, they had what was known as the Great Disappointment, and then that spinned off into several different cults such as SDA, and then turned into what was it? Jehovah's Witnesses, so on and so forth. I'll go into all the details of these cults on a later date. But something that did come out of that is we don't consider to be a cult, and we do consider them to be brothers and sisters in Christ. And that would be Darby's version of dispensationalism. Now, I'm being careful with saying that it's Darby dispensationalism, because some will swear up and down that dispensationalism has always existed. So let me be real clear. Darby's version of dispensationalism then. But what this ministry has been pressing to show is how much of Darby's dispensationalism has infiltrated itself into what we will call Orthodox Christianity. A lot of what Darby has said has crept into what we will say Orthodox Christianity, to the point to where if you don't agree with certain things that came from John Nelson Darby, then it's almost looked at as if you're giving some sort of strange doctrine. When the fact of the matter is, John Nelson Darby had a huge influence on a man by the name of James Brooks, who had a huge influence on C.I. Scofield. And then C.I. Scofield took, and he had a huge influence on, I believe it ended up going to the founder of Dallas Theological Seminary. I forget his first name, but I know his last name was Schaefer. And then from Dallas Theological Seminary, you birth people like Hal Lindsey, who created books known as The Late Great Plan